Well, I'm actually just leaving Tamiko Training Center right now. I went with Lonely Lakewood. Now, many of you maybe not know that Lonely Lakewood is over here. Lonely Lakewood is originally, and so is Nothing But a Dreamer. So we have a real good rapport with the lead surgeon here at the University of Guelph, Natalie Cote, and she is going to castrate both those horses. Usually, for maybe you that don't know, a veterinarian can usually castrate the horses on site, right? Put them on straw, and there's an incision, and it's a process. It's very ordinary. But a ridgeling is where one of the testicles is still attached, either up in the abdomen or in the canal, and they have to go up and get that one. They usually just castrate them to take both of them at that point. I forgot until somebody told me the other day that, well, Nothing But a Dreamer raced all year. And you say, well, he raced good. Why would he castrate him? He's got a little study, and Harry had asked me to castrate him. I wasn't going to weigh in and say, absolutely not. We're not castrating him. If Harry wants him castrated, we'll castrate him. So that's why he's getting done. Campfella was a ridgeline. Not many people knew that. I forgot all about it. But Lonely Lakewood is going to be gelding after this procedure. So him and Nothing But a Dreamer are getting done. He's here. Well, Harry doesn't know the horse, and Harry doesn't want to be tipped over here. So I came and I went with Lonely Lakewood. He was perfect here. What a professional. For a goofy little bugger, he wasn't bad at I only got to see him his first and second day jogging at Northfield Park, so it really was unfair to judge him on that. But it's pretty obvious that Jason Merriman and the guys at Northfield are doing a great job with these horses. Both him, Jason McGinnis, and the people that go with the babies every day. Case, all those guys, they're all growing, they're all learning, they're all getting molded into the way we do things, and what a great job they've done, and it was on display here today. This horse has been in the stall for 2 days. I just hooked him in the jog cart like an aged horse, went out, he jogged perfect. What a sweetheart he is. So he is slated to be castrated. He'll likely stay in Ontario. We'll see how many horses we have for our Ontario crew here. If we end up with 10 or 12 or 13, as long as the numbers are pliable enough, as long as James and Danny and we get a couple of caretakers, as long as they're okay with the horses, then that's how many will be here. Now, obviously, Lonely Lakewood is a Father Patrick. He's Pennsylvania State, but he's here right now. So I don't think there's any need to shove him back over to Ontario right away, especially when he's in good hands here also. So Lonely Lakewood jogged. I jogged Carter Michael Deal this morning. Now, I've been going with Carter also. A little tender in his mouth because of the snake cord that's on him, and he's just a little too ornery to be effective, in my opinion. Now, we have the Breeders' Crown coming up. I wish we had another start into him, but I did train him in 56 and 4, 57 the other day on a cold day. It was a good mile. That was a very, very good mile. And then we come back and train him. I think James said he trained him in 2-2, but he said he wouldn't pick up the bit right. He's throwing his head, and I said, that's all right. I'll go with him tomorrow. I'll go with him today. I'll train him mile and 25 tomorrow, and I may drive him in the Breeders' Crown Elimination on Friday. Here in Ontario, we do have Carter Michael Deal, Crantini, and Spitfire Overseas that will be racing in the Breeders' Crown Elimination on Friday. I'm on my way now to London. I'm going to go look at some babies for you guys. I know I said yesterday the London bucket was moving slow, but that's partly my fault too. I haven't been picking up the phone, calling people and saying, hey, pressing people and say, hey, if you want to get involved, I'd like to get you involved. I just haven't done that, right? And I haven't put the full court press on myself either, going to look at these horses. So I'm going down there today. I'm going to look at all the ones. I have them on a list. I don't have my iPad, but it's not, I can't write on the page anyway in the iPad. We're going to go old school. I'm going to grab a catalog when I get down there. I know the horses I want to look at. I put them on my phone last night, mostly all trotters. We do have a Shadow Play filly already. We do have a He's Watching colt already. So I'm not in a big hurry, as I generally am not, to buy a pacer down here. We will be looking at trotters tomorrow. And we already have 3 horses. 4 horses. No, 3 horses for those buckets. We have Seasons of Love. We have the Shadow Play filly. And then we have the Schaefer Muscle Mass filly also that we bought. The 3 that we bought in Lexington are in those buckets also. So I would say there's room for one more moderately priced horse in the lower bucket, but again, we can move that around if we have to, right? See what the sale looks like tomorrow, see what numbers make sense. And then I think after tomorrow, and especially after Wednesday, we'll be able to unveil what the buckets look like. And there possibly will be room for a horse maybe in Harrisburg that's an Ontario bred or privately to fit in there. So we'll see what goes on, but we'll unveil the buckets after Wednesday to tell you what they look like. As of right now, I think there's room for one moderately priced horse in the Partnership B bucket of London, or I can take one out and move a horse, say, maybe 40,000 if we end up buying one for that. That would make that lower bucket a 2-horse bucket. And I think that's kind of what the people that were paying into that $75,000 bracket, that umbrella, I think that's kind of what you're after. 2, no more than 3, and I think that's exactly where we'll land on them. As far as Partnership A goes, I did take Hallie in the Clouds out because I was worried that she would monopolize that bucket, and I think she still would have. So at the very least, we're going to put our horses in there, see where we land, take a look at Harrisburg, and go from there. So that's what's going on today. If you guys want to be involved, obviously, I'm not oblivious to the fact that there's 70 and 80% of those lots not sold out. But I am confident that we have our Ontario clients out there that will get involved with those horses. Now, this is one of those Anthony sticking his neck out times where I don't really like it, and it's an uncomfortable feeling. But I do know Ontario is where we based our operations. Ontario is where this all started, and Ontario is still one of our strongest jurisdictions for our clients. So, fine. I will stick my neck out for these buckets today and tomorrow. Be forewarned, I have to pay for them in the next 3 weeks, next 14 days. So whatever we buy tomorrow or the next day needs to be paid out. Most definitely has to be paid out before Lexington, because I'm still scrambling around to make sure we have. That is a very large check to write. So that's where we're at right now. Although it's a gloomy, miserable day, it is a good day. It's still a nice day here in Ontario. I think things will go well for us over the next 2 days at the sale. Obviously, my eyes are on the sale today, but my periphery is still the Breeders' Crown on Friday for us, and then I have to get in the car and drive all the way to Dayton. Thank you, everybody, for correcting me. It is not Northfield Park where the Buckeye finals are. It is Dayton. Thank you. We'll be in Dayton on Saturday night, and then after that, it'll be full speed ahead through to Lexington. Aged horses racing and all the horses being raced and moved around all over North America. Now, last night we didn't have much to talk about. In fact, I did have some text messages, one in particular. Listen, guys, at the end of the day, we do the best we can. I can't help that Blue Tesla has somehow, and this is how fragile. These are living beings, and this is how fragile our game can be. We went from a horse that I was eager to get to Mohawk and thought that she was going to be a pretty strong middle condition horse at Mohawk to a condition claimer getting run over at Flamborough. There is such a thin line, and I want everybody just to take a deep breath. And if you want to take the time to look up the lines on Blue Tesla, where she was for us and where she is for us, you'll start to get a real sense of how fragile, as I said, this game can be, and how fragile these classes and these horses are. And, you know, somebody said, well, she's been terrible for 2 months and no good. Yeah, I can't explain why she turned no good. I know she tied up when she came back from that short, brief layoff at Northfield Park, but lots of horses tie up. They get over it and they move on. We drew her blood this morning. I'd be very curious to see what is going on in that blood work of Blue Tesla, but again, I'm going to be upfront with everybody. We've drawn her blood since then, and she's recovered since then. So what the hell is going on with this filly? I don't have an answer for you. And I know there's a lot of people out there saying, just get rid of her. I get that we've moved to a more aggressive fashion, but we are never going to be just a strictly run and gun operation. That is not going to happen. And if, you know, the people that own the horse, if you don't want to be involved with Tesla, I can't blame you. I get it. There's still lots of people that will, and if it means that she's no good right now and the veterinarian can't get to the bottom of it, and she's worth very, very little right now, I'm more apt to turn her out. Bring her back later in the winter. You know, give her 3 weeks off, bring her back. That's 6 weeks from start to getting her back going, and see what we have there. I'm much more apt to do that than just dump her on gate and take pennies on the dollar for her. That's not going to happen. And I understand there are people in our midst that are used to a more aggressive manner, but as I said, we're not going to be this pump and dump barn. It's not going to be happening. happening. I don't mind buying horses, and when they saturate their ability to earn, their actual class that they can race competitively in, make an argument to sell them, absolutely 100%. But when we go from a filly that can trot in 56 to a filly that trots in 2-1 without any rhyme or reason or explanation, I'm not going to sell that horse for pennies on the dollar. I'm going to, unless I feel we have to. She's not lame. She's not sick. Let's see what her blood looks like, and then we'll make a decision from there. But the overarching message to everybody is, listen, we do the best we can. We're not magicians. I can't explain what took place with Blue Tesla, but she is one spoke in a very big wheel. And we'll continue to do the best we can. Nobody bought Blue Tesla or Bravura to come over here and race in a condition claimer. But if that's where they're going to win races, then that's where they're going to race them. That's where we're going to race them. So, I know that we've been spoiled all year. We've had an unbelievable run with our stake horses, with our race horses. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. You guys know that. I mean, for those of you new to the game, you're getting a real stark look at what could be, what can be, and what is. For those of you that have been in the game for a long time, you know the drill. We're not always going to be right. We're not always going to make the right turn. Sometimes we wish we turned left and we turn right. And that's racing. For us to love everything about racing, you have to accept the bad and also accept the good. So that's where we're at today. We've globetrotting, another perfect example of what when a fast horse looks bad, she can do that in a hurry too. And I can tell you that she was coming in off tying up a little bit and did have a quarter crack. So is she going to be on the top of her game today? Probably not. You can only hope for the best and move her forward. She's in the exact same boat as a horse like Equine AM. Drive you crazy, but man, when she's good, she is crazy, crazy fast. So that is where we're at right now. This is the time of year where we're trying to move some horses around. LD's Patrick. Cindy's going away for 2 weeks. So LD's Patrick is actually going to go down to Harry's barn, and Harry said he'd qualify him for Jason on Friday morning. I will go with LD's Patrick on Friday morning. Iglariam can't race till Monday at the earliest. So my question is, I know that Dominic had asked about Lasix for the filly. Now, I don't remember her ever bleeding, but I know that he schooled her on Lasix. So do we race her on the Monday, or do we wait 4 more days, see what the race office at Mohawk has for us on Friday, where we can race her on Lasix? If she's going to wait 10 days from qualifier to race, do we not wait that extra 4 days and accommodate what Dominic thought was a pretty important component of her racing? We all know where we sit with Globetrotting and Iglariam. I wish they had a better 2022. They did not. We're looking to get them ready and get them going and race them right through into February, where they will be bred. And that is the plan with both those mares. So, man, a lot more to talk about than I thought we would. I'm on the highway now. So heading towards London, going to look at a ton of babies for you today. Going to see what they have to offer us. See if we can find some value tomorrow. I am skeptical. I know I got scolded a little bit because I said that there may not be, that I find it very difficult to find value in the London Select sale every year. That isn't meant as, it is meant as a negative as a buyer, but as a seller, that's only a pat on the back to the people that run the London sale, because they have such a strong sale. Our job, my job, is to find value. And I do find it very difficult to find it some years in London. We'll see. Every year is different. I am a little perplexed that they felt they had to sell 195 horses over 2 days. I think that's a short 2-day sale. And the last 2-day sale I saw like that was the Ohio sale a few years back. And day 2 was a bloodbath. So that also is in the back of my mind. We'll see what takes place in London over the next 2 days. I'll be there tomorrow. I won't be there Wednesday. I'll be in Northfield Park to go with the babies on Wednesday morning. Macho Martini Wednesday afternoon. Wednesday night I'll be at Northfield Park. Thursday morning I'll be going with some babies, and then Thursday afternoon coming right back here, because we're going to be racing some horses both in Mohawk on Thursday, the Breeders' Crown Friday, and then off to Dayton Raceway on Saturday. So that's how my week looks right now. As I said, on my way to London. We'll stop and get a little tea here at Tim Hortons, and I'll talk to you all very, very soon. Take care.